College of Pharmacy hooding ceremony. I'm Jean Woodward. This is pretty sensitive stuff. I'm Jean Woodward, the Associate Dean for Student Services at the College of Pharmacy. In compliance with state regulations, we would like to take a moment to review with you some safety information. Please look around the arena and note the numerous exit signs. Each of these exits may be used in the unlikely event we should need to evacuate the building. At this time, please take a moment to locate the exits closest to you. Everybody look at the exits. All set? If an evacuation is required, you will be informed either through this public address system or through the building's alarm system. Should this occur, we ask that you move calmly to the nearest exit and away from the building. The Cross Insurance Arena is a non-smoking facility. Smoking is not permitted within the building or within the immediate vicinity. Should anyone require medical assistance during the ceremony, a first aid station is located on the lower level under Section K across from the restrooms. Any usher or staff person can assist you in finding the location. Thank you for your attention in this manner. Today's ceremony is being live video streamed to all parts of the world and will also be available to view after the ceremony. Finally, we ask that you please turn off or silence your cell phones. At this time, I ask that Dr. Kenneth McCall, College of Pharmacy Faculty Chair, lead the students, the platform party, and the pharmacy faculty to the stage. Please stand and remain standing as the students, platform party, and faculty process in. Please be seated. It's an honor to stand before you this evening as we come together to recognize a significant milestone in the lives of our students of the College of Pharmacy, of the university, and of the profession. The putting commencement for the Doctor of Pharmacy class of 2018. At this time, I'd like to introduce the platform party. Please stand as announced. Dr. Karen Housknecht, Interim Dean of the College of Pharmacy and Professor in the College of Osteopathic Medicine. Dr. Lowell Anderson, Professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Care and Health Systems at the University of Minnesota College of Pharmacy, Co-Director of the Center for Leading Healthcare Change and Manager of the U-Plan MTM Network for the University of Minnesota Employee Health Plan, our keynote speaker. Dr. Wallace Marsh, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs and Associate Clinical Professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice. And Dr. Kenneth McCall, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacy Practice and Chair of the College of Pharmacy Faculty Assembly. I now would like to introduce the Interim Dean of the College of Pharmacy, Dr. Housknecht, who will provide a welcome to for the college and introduce the keynote speaker. Dr. Housknecht.
Thank you, Dean Woodward. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Pharmacy and the UNE community, it is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to the family, friends, and guests of our graduating PharmD students. It is also my honor to recognize some distinguished guests who are with us for today's ceremony. Mr. Ray Handy, Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, Mr. Mitchell Brown, Associate Director of Corporate and Civil Engagement, Kathy Anderson, spouse to our keynote speaker, other members of the UNE community, our donors, members of the Dean's Advisory Council, preceptors, and friends of the college. The work of the college would not be possible without the strong support of each of you. So on behalf of our graduates, faculty, and professional staff, I thank you for being here today and for all that you do for the college. Now I would like the class of 2018 to stand and join me in recognizing your parents, your grandparents, your spouses, your significant others, your brothers, your sisters, your children, your best friends, your next door neighbors, and all the people who helped you get here today. You may be seated. This weekend, the College of Pharmacy continues to make history as we hood and graduate our 6th class, the class of 2018. As a founding faculty member and the interim dean, this is a very special day for me as well. I am so very proud of your accomplishments for completing a rigorous course of study and the legacy of developing outstanding pharmacists and alumni for our college and the university. It has indeed been an honor to serve the college as dean this year, and I am truly delighted to share this day with you and your families. At this point, I would like to take a moment to recognize our faculty. UNE's greatest asset, the thing that makes UNE special, is the passion and commitment of the faculty to student learning. Your faculty are highly trained professionals who are devoted to your success. They are scholars, they are teachers, they are outstanding clinicians. They work countless hours to develop and deliver the curriculum, to create unique experiences for you to grow and learn. They have challenged your ideas. They have introduced topics and scenarios that caused you to pause and reflect. They have nurtured you, and at times redirected you, with the aim of helping you to develop into the best person and the best pharmacist that you could be. They have challenged you to lead and create. They took you into the clinic. They taught you to immunize, how to counsel patients. They modeled how to interact with healthcare professionals and other people that are different than you. They taught you how to ask critical questions. They taught you in the laboratory. They took you to foreign countries. They are among your greatest fans. Class of 2018, please join me in recognizing the faculty. Graduates, I also want to thank you for choosing the profession of pharmacy, for choosing to become medication experts. It is important and noble work. We are currently in the midst of a prescribing problem in this country, whether it be overprescribing of opioid pain medications, improper prescribing of antibiotics, or the increasingly widespread off-label prescribing of psychiatric medications. We have a growing need for medication experts to help solve these complex problems in our healthcare system. Now, I'm not a pharmacist, but I train prescribers in multiple healthcare programs, and every time I teach, I encourage student prescribers to partner more closely with the pharmacists, the medication experts, in making optimal medication decisions. This is a complex issue. Each of you has the opportunity to play an important role in improving practices and medication management as we partner more closely with prescribers in many different healthcare settings. You have already started to do this in your clinical practice. You know what to do. You can be the leaders who help make positive change happen for your patients. I also want to challenge you to do things that you may not know how to do. I challenge you to be courageous and address one of the many new challenges that are unfolding in our world today. There are many to choose from disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, the impact of cybersecurity and access to care on the practice of pharmacy. Whatever you choose to engage will shape your life in unexpected and often wonderful ways. As Danielle Laporte said, your life unfolds in proportion to your courage. Now, we know disruptive technologies have greatly improved healthcare delivery and patient care. However, they can have unintended consequences, and by their very nature, they cause us to change the way we live our lives, the way we train our students, and the way you practice pharmacy. For many, these changes are unsettling and even scary. I ask you to consider the idea that what scares us may in fact lead to our greatest adventures. So my challenge to you is to show courage in your life and your career. I have no doubt that every one of you is courageous. You've already shown that to us. As the poet Maya Angelou said, one isn't born with courage, one develops it by doing small, courageous things. Well, you've done a lot of courageous things. It takes courage to apply to pharmacy school. It takes courage to counsel your first patient. It takes courage to stand up and present in front of your peers. It takes courage to be a parent. It takes courage to face the loss of a loved one. It takes courage to be a healthcare provider. Each of you has what it takes, and you have proven to all of us that you are courageous leaders and lifelong learners. Those two attributes are powerful indeed. As Mark Twain said, with courage, you will dare to take risks, have the strength to be compassionate, and the wisdom to be humble. Courage is the foundation of integrity. To the class of 2018, I wish you much happiness and hope, passion and purpose, curiosity and healthy adventures. I wish for you rewarding careers with colleagues who make you laugh. I wish for you the courage to be compassionate with your patients and yourselves. I wish for you the love of family and friends, for their support will help you achieve great things and bring much sweetness to your lives. Class of 2018, we are all so very proud of you. Remember to be kind and brave and do good work, and please come back and visit your UNE family. Congratulations. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Lowell Anderson. Dr. Anderson graduated from the University of Minnesota College of Pharmacy in 1962. He practiced at Walgreens and Northwestern Hospital in Minneapolis and worked for the Department of Administration for the state of Minnesota prior to entering community practice. He owned and practiced at Falcon Heights Pharmacy and Bel Air Pharmacy in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, before leaving practice in 2006. He has participated vigorously in both his community and his profession. He has served as a director or officer on professional, hospital, liability insurance company, health maintenance organization, and arts boards. In addition, he has served on or chaired community health groups and legislative committees of inquiry. In his profession, he has served as president of the American Pharmacists Association, Minnesota Pharmacists Association, and Minnesota Board of Pharmacy. He has also served 2 terms as treasurer of APHA. He has served on the American Council of Pharmaceutical Education, various committees for the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy, and is a member of the United States Pharmacopoeia. Internationally, he has been a member of the Executive Committee of the Community Practice Section of the International Pharmacy Federation, or FIP. Currently, he is co-director of the Center for Leading Healthcare Change at the College of Pharmacy and manager of the U-Plan MTM network for the University of Minnesota Employee Health Plan. He holds an adjunct appointment as professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Care and Health Systems at the College of Pharmacy, the University of Minnesota. Among his many recognitions, the most notable are an honorary Doctor of Science from the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy, Outstanding Achievement Award from the University of Minnesota Regents, the Weaver Honor Medal from the University of Minnesota College of Pharmacy, and the Remington Honor Medal from the American Pharmacists Association. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Lowell Anderson.
Thank you, Dean Hausneck. The introduction may have been longer than my speech, but thank you. So I'd like to greet the faculty and the deans and the class of 2018 and your families and your friends here today. And thank you for allowing me to participate in this launch of 101 new pharmacists to practice in the state of Maine and beyond. Speakers at graduation are kind of like the body at an Irish wake. You have to have one, but you don't really expect much from them. But the best part is the celebration of life that follows. And with the opportunity to celebrate in mind, I will keep it brief. I will not talk about what a great institution UNE is, because you all know that, or how wonderful the opportunities are that will be there for you after graduation, because we all know there are many. Nor will I promise you an eventful and interesting life. That will be your job to create, and you'll need to work hard to achieve it. But let me assure you, it will be worth the effort. The ceremonies of this weekend recognize that you have satisfactorily completed the coursework prescribed by the faculty. This will ultimately result in your recognition as a pharmacist practitioner. All these weird costumes, hats, gowns, hoods, date back to medieval times. They are the Academy's way of using the rich history of education to recognize your academic achievements and to welcome you to our profession. Because history is important. Without a history, we would not be a profession. Today, we are a continuation of a proud history that started in 1240, when the King of Two Sicilies separated pharmacy from medicine. And I would point out that was before my time. But today I want to get personal. The Dean talked about the importance of courage, and I want to talk about the importance of courage in making choices. And I want to talk to you about some of the choices that you will be able to make in your careers. These choices will define you, and ultimately, when combined with the choices of all of your colleagues, will define our profession. Because life is about choices. Our life, each of our lives, is the sum of the choices we make. Consider life as an elective. And unlike college, in life, you can major in anything you wish, and you can change majors anytime you choose. Consider, first of all, that health care is a choice. Health is a necessity, but health care is a choice. You will be reminded every day in your practice that people make choices about their care, choosing to seek or not seek health care, choosing to use you as their pharmacist, choosing to follow or not follow your advice, and indeed even choosing to become a patient. It will be your choice to practice at the top of your, thought I'd skipped a page. Wouldn't want to make it any shorter than I have to. It will be your choice to practice at the top of your license or at the top of your education, and they are different. Soon you will be examined by the Maine Board of Pharmacy. When you pass the NAPLEX, you will have been judged by the state of Maine to be safe to provide pharmacist services to the citizens of Maine. Remember, your pharmacist license just means that you're safe to practice. You, however, will choose your personal level of competence, supported by study and experience. Your license is a minimum standard. Your practice must be at a maximum standard. You may have been able to pass biochem and pathophysiology with a 70%, but your patients demand and deserve that you deliver 100% every time. You will choose how big your world is, whether to participate in the big issues of your profession and your communities. Choose to believe in things larger than yourself, but don't let the big things substitute for intimacy, ordinary friendships, and meeting the simple responsibilities of life. Being involved in our profession is a choice. If all you do is just work in a pharmacy, that's your job. You become a professional when you participate in your profession, working to advance your profession's ability to improve the quality of care for the people we serve. You represent the value of a pharmacist by example with each patient and customer you serve. Leadership is a choice. Many of you developed leadership skills while at UNE because of your involvement in student organizations. Continue to develop those leadership skills in your professional societies, communities, and in your jobs. Followership is also a choice. Know when to lead and when to follow, because life is never just one or the other. Anne Bancroft, the first woman to take a dog sled to the North Pole, observed that unless you are the lead dog, the view never changes. The changing views that come with leadership are what makes life interesting. As the dean noted in my introduction, I've done a lot of things in my career. For much of my career, I was a community practitioner and owned my own pharmacies. Due to my interests in healthcare, I was appointed professor at the University of Minnesota College of Pharmacy after I left practice. I developed a leadership center, the Center for Leading Healthcare Change. I did this because I believe that health professions can do a better job of valuing personal leadership and its importance to improving the healthcare in America. I also believe that as a professional college, we have responsibilities to develop those values in the students we serve and the communities that you will serve. Because community leadership is also a choice. Wherever you live or practice, bring your experience and education as a medication use expert to the discussions of community issues. Today, there are big issues in healthcare. Take the example of the opioid use crisis. Consider today that 137 Americans will die from opioid overdose. That's a third more than the size of your graduating class. Think about that. We as pharmacists didn't cause this epidemic, but as pharmacists we can help to reduce it. Begin by talking to your patients about pain management and alternatives to pain management with opioids. Then consider how often you see a pharmacist discussing this issue on the evening news or at the local civic organizations. Has your hometown paper included an interview with a local pharmacist about the value that pharmacists can bring to resolving this crisis? If not, why don't you do that interview when you get out in practice? I served on many boards that were not directly linked to health, arts, political, and corporate. It was inevitable that fellow board members would comment that they had never served on a board with a pharmacist before. They didn't think that pharmacists were interested in the community issues confronting our communities. So my advice to you is be interested, be involved, and never underestimate the value of being a pharmacist in the eyes of your fellow citizens. I can tell you from personal experience that the knowledge that I contributed to my profession and my community in a meaningful way is one of the life experiences that I most value. Adhering to ethical standards is a choice. Know what your personal ethical standards are, because they are not situational. They are your guiding principles and your fail-safe. You owe it to your patients, your employer, and to yourself. Texas Instruments offers these guidelines to its employees. If you know it's wrong, don't do it. If you're not sure, ask questions. Keep asking till you get an answer. Being informed is a choice. Your patients will see you as experts and come to you for information about current health-related events, not the politics of these events, but how the events will impact them as patients. Seek information and apply it to your life and career. Read more than the sports pages. Read the news. Consider that Amazon will have a greater impact on the way you practice and faster than the Federal Center for Medicare and Medicaid. How will artificial intelligence affect you? How much of what you do can be replaced by artificial intelligence? How will the consolidation occurring in the health marketplace affect you, your goals, and your practices? Throughout my career, I have proudly identified as a pharmacist, without a modifier, not a community pharmacist, chain pharmacist, retail, hospital, and so on and so forth, just pharmacist. Our profession loves adjectives because adjectives help us describe our identity, but they're confusing to the public who looks to pharmacists for services. In real life, people choose their pharmacist based on our ability to respond to their needs, not the adjective in front of their title. Doctor of Pharmacy is enough. You earned it, use it. In practice, it may be the 100th or the 200th prescription you have dispensed in a day, but to the patient, it is the first one, the only one. To them, it is the prescription that will improve their health or even save their life. There's a marketing principle called imputation of value. How you present a product or service assigns value to that product or service. You've bought products from Apple, I'm sure, and think about the box that an Apple product comes in. Even the parts you don't see are really beautiful. And if you buy it at an Apple store, your product is brought out and presented to you. The contents have to be valuable with that kind of packaging and handling. Now think about how all too often a prescription is provided to a patient in a pharmacy. Put it in a bag, include an information sheet, hand it over the counter to the clerk who rings it up, and the patient is asked if there are any questions, and you go back to the hold button waiting for a doctor's office to answer a formulary question. Or even worse, it is provided through a drive-up window like a Big Mac. What value is imputed to life-changing medicines in these types of interactions? These experiences by patients and consumers brand our profession. If this is the most recent experience that a patient has with a pharmacist, that person will believe we are people who just count pills and handle insurance claims. If it is your professional goal to fill hundreds of prescriptions a day and resolve insurance issues, that is your choice. But I think you'll have paid too much for your education. On the other hand, if you give people who choose you as their pharmacist the experience that will cause them to say, my pharmacist is the best thing that happened to me today. I rely on her knowledge and trust her advice. That too will be your choice and impute your value as a caring, competent professional. Life is fun. Make the choices that enrich your life. Go to concerts, read books, frequent the farmers market and talk to the farmers and vendors. Be interested in your patients as the people they are. Each has a story to tell that is far more interesting than their medical record. Savor the prospect of how you'll spend your new income. There are fun choices: where to work, where to live, what kind of car, where to take a real vacation, finding a partner, having a family, developing and maintaining deep friendships, and decide if you're going to like Hawaiian pizza, pineapple and all, or not. Take advantage of the changes that are occurring in our culture that can improve the services you deliver. If rather than preparing for these inevitable changes, you fear change, you fear that technicians, robots, or artificial intelligence will replace you, maybe you should be replaced. And finally, how you manage change is a choice. Michael Levitt, former governor of Utah and Secretary of Health and Human Services, observed, "You can fight change and lose. You can accept change and survive, or you can lead change and prosper. The choice to fight, to accept, or to lead change is yours to make. Don't let someone else make the choice for you." Welcome to our profession. Now go out and make a ding in the universe. Thank you.
I have a little token for you. Some UNE bling.
Oh. More bling. Thank you.
Wow, how inspiring. Huh? Makes me want to go back to practice. really. Thank you so much for the wonderful words from both Dean Hausknecht and Dr. Anderson. We've asked the class president to give a brief farewell speech. I would like to invite the class president, Mr. Samuel Cushing, to the stage.
Thank you, Dean Woodward. Good evening, everyone. I assure you, brief wasn't in the email that I got. I have exactly 2,500 words I'd like to say to include this sentence. As Dean Woodward just said, my name is Sam Cushing. It has been my privilege to serve as the class president for the class of 2018 for our 4 years at the College of Pharmacy. Now, I'm not very good at writing speeches. I'm fairly comfortable with the public speaking part, but the act of putting thoughts to paper is the part I struggle with because I hardly prepare in advance. Yes, I'm one of those procrastinators who could wait until the night before an assignment was due and somehow produce some of my best work. I was told I can't do that with this speech. So no, I did not write this entire speech last night. I started just this past Sunday. I had a whole year to include the last 6 weeks without a rotation to try and come up with something, anything, that I wanted to say as my last remarks to the class of 2018 and their loved ones, and I struggled. Well, I'm not here to remind everyone of the exact number of tests and quizzes we took, or the number of experiential hours we completed, or the average amount of debt we accrued, because I wanted to place emphasis on what got us to this point today. But first, let me share how I got started. On Sunday, I found myself reading an old email that a great friend sent me almost exactly 1 year ago. I know this because he sent it to me on my birthday. This friend and mentor is someone that all of my classmates know, as do the faculty and staff behind me. But for the rest of the audience, the person I am speaking about is the class president of the class of 2017, last year's graduating class, and my big brother within the Kappa Psi Pharmaceutical fraternity, Lynn Tran. Funny enough, Lynn and I share a birthday as well, and it's just around the corner, May 29th. In his email to me, he shared a powerful, personal story that he originally intended to tell himself on this stage in front of his own peers and loved ones. He decided against it last minute, but with his express permission, I asked to give it a voice today because of the important message it conveys. So bear with me, because I've read this a few times myself, and it's never any easier, but I will read exactly what he wrote to me. Dear Sam, happiest of birthdays. One of my favorite quotes from you is, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle." For that, I have nothing to give you this year for your birthday, but the truth. I have attached my real graduation speech that I never had the guts to say out loud. I hope you have a wonderful day filled with happiness and joy. Best, Lynn Tran. The following is what he wrote me. May 23rd, 2008. I remember it as if it was yesterday, mainly because it's the only thing I dream about every night. I was in my final year of undergrad, and I decided to drive home a couple weeks before finals to do my laundry and wash my car like any other poor college student. As I'm putting clothes into the washer, my mother, who was on the phone, comes downstairs and tells me, "It's my grandparents on the line. Mom, do you want to say hello?" I took the phone and I hung it up, proceeded to continue putting my clothes into the washer. At this point, my mother's upset, begins lecturing me about how ungrateful of a person I am. I barely come home while in school. I've been disobedient and aloof. I finished with the washer, went out to the driveway to wash my car. My mother was still lecturing me this whole time. I finished, placed my clothes into the dryer, then went to make myself dinner, as my mother continues to be hysterical. After a while of more lecturing, I get fed up, throw my clothes from the dryer into my hamper, throw them in my car, thinking to myself, I have finals coming up, I have to study, I can't deal with this. I didn't even stay for dinner. As I walk to my car in frustration, I say, I can't stand all of this smothering. If you are so unhappy, maybe you shouldn't be here anymore. I drive back to school to study for finals. A week goes by, and I take a break from studying. I usually get an annual phone call on May 29th. It's my mom saying, happy birthday, come home, I'll make your favorite meal, beef noodle soup. I didn't get a call that day. I figured she was still mad at the stunt I pulled, so I proceeded to go out with my friends. The next morning, I got a call from my dad telling me that my mom's in the hospital again, and I should come home. Here's what I left out from the previous week's event. My mother suffered from Parkinson's disease for 16 arduous years. From time to time, she would overdose on her medication, causing a schizophrenic episode. When going to the ER, she would get detoxed and held in a psych ward for 72 hours, a standard procedure that I was used to. The previous week, I hung up the phone out of impatience because my mom had a hallucination talking to my grandparents, whom had already passed away many years ago. I was more concerned with final exams at the time. When I got to the ER, my dad tells me her medication wore off while she was walking up the stairs. She fell, had an accident, and passed away. All I could think about were the last words I said and how horrible I treated this person who did nothing but care for me. No matter how overbearing or smothering, or the constant reminders I received, she was only trying to help, and I took her nagging for granted. I would do anything for another one of her lectures of nagging right now. She taught me that nobody cares for what you have to say until you show how much you care. I regret what I did, and I will never be able to take it back and say I'm sorry. I asked Lynn to share his story because too frequently do we get overwhelmed trying to conquer everything thrown at us. And too frequently do we hear of similar stories, but until it affects you yourself, there is no way of knowing that pain and how you move on. I'm sure my classmates would agree that in our 4 years of pharmacy school, in addition to our previous years of school, we are all guilty of pushing aside or getting frustrated with some of the most important things and people in our lives. I too am included in that. Every few years on social media, a video resurfaces. It's some kind of variation of a story that's been told about a university professor teaching his class a life lesson about what's most important using an empty jar and some common objects. For those of you who haven't seen this video, let me try and accurately describe the version I'm most familiar with. Imagine an empty jar, like a large pickle jar, and you fill it full of golf balls. Many would agree when asked that the jar was now full. But if you take a bunch of small pebbles and add them to the jar of golf balls, the pebbles will take up the remaining space that the golf balls could not. The jar has now become truly full. That is, until you add some sand to the jar. The sand is even smaller, and with some tamping down of that jar, you can get the sand to settle in between the spaces that the golf balls and the pebbles could not. However, if you were to repeat this process, but reverse the order, and this time start with the same amount of sand and the same amount of pebbles, and add them to the jar first, and then try and fit the same amount of golf balls, it simply won't work. Some of those golf balls will be left out. The exercise illustrates that if we think of the jar as our life, there's only so much space. The golf balls represent the things most important in our lives: our family, our friends, our health, our passions. The small pebbles are the less important things: our job, our car, our home. And the sand, that's just the petty stuff, the stuff that doesn't really matter. The message is that you should fill your life with those things crucial to your happiness. If you remember to fill your life with the most important things first, there will always be room for the other stuff in between, but not the other way around. I explain this in conjunction with a powerful story because remembering to put the golf balls first is not always easy, and being thankful for them every day is even more difficult. That's why I wanted to use this time to thank the most important things in our lives that have in some way, shape, or form helped us get to this momentous day. To my parents, I know that nagging is only out of love, and I will always be thankful for the constant support. I love you. To my younger brother, my girlfriend, grandparents, the rest of my family in attendance or those watching at home, my friends, my mentors like Lynn, thank you. I love you all as well. But this is never strictly my own time on stage. I stand here on behalf of the class to share this message, and there are many others I must thank. First, to all the other parents here on behalf of one of my classmates, I thank you. Never have I been so honored to have your son or daughter as one of my classmates. You will probably never know just how much your student has impacted the school, their fellow classmates, and myself. But I can safely say this about the student you are here today to support. They have in one way or another helped me get to this point today, and all of their other classmates as well. I will be forever thankful of that. To the rest of the family members, spouses, significant others, children, siblings, and everyone else here in support of one of these students, I thank you for your never-ending support and the opportunity to meet many of you over the last 4 years. Lastly, to the deans of the college, both past and present, our class advisor, Dr. Jim Krebs, the other faculty, both those in attendance and those that sadly could not be, the staff and administration of the college, I thank you. And now to my fellow classmates, I want you to have your moment as well, and I want to make a request. Please remain in your seats, but take this moment to turn around, try and find mom and dad or your family in the crowd, and say a thank you, and I love you. Give a wave, blow a kiss to your spouse. Better yet, do that, but then look elsewhere in the crowd and say a thank you to someone you don't recognize, because chances are they are family or friends of someone seated on your left or right, your classmates, who without their help, you may not be here yourself. Go ahead, I'll wait. Now, it is my turn to thank you, the class of 2018. Without your support, your guidance, and help, who knows if I would be sharing in this momentous occasion? More importantly, who knows if I would be hogging the stage and eating up minutes of your lives that you will never get back? I will forever be grateful for the opportunity to know so many caring, hardworking, respectful, resilient individuals who are going to impact the world of pharmacy unlike any to come before you. To you all, I have no true advice to give beyond what has already been said when I started this speech. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. No, this quote is not my own, and truthfully, I'm unsure of who said it, as it's been misattributed to many individuals. This quote sits at the bottom of every email I send as a reminder to myself and others that you just don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know what someone else's motivation is in life, what their passions are, or what their struggles are. But I can assure you it matters not your age, your gender, your religious or ethnic background, or your sexual orientation. Your struggles, our struggles in this world are similar. You will have struggles, as will I, and when you struggle, you will need some help. Help from your family, your friends, your colleagues, the golf balls. Don't make your life about the small things as you move on to your practice site as a pharmacist. And remember that you will always have the opportunity to help someone else with their own struggles simply by being kind. Take nothing for granted, respect everyone, and be kind. In closing, I would like to make some promises to you. I hardly ever do this because I'm always a little fearful of not being able to make good on them. But to you, my classmates, I think I owe you this because you make up part of those golf balls in my own life jar. First, my number will never change. I will never be more than a phone call, a text, an email, or Facebook message away for any reason. I will make every effort to remain in touch with you all, wherever we all end up, and I expect you to do the same with those around you. Second, my door will always be open to you. Whether you want to simply pay a visit or are in need of a place to stay, you will always be welcome. And lastly, I must reference the analogy of the jar one more time, because for anyone who recognizes the video that I am describing, knows there's one object I'm missing. At the end of the video, the professor cracks open a beer, pours it into the jar full of golf balls, pebbles, and sand without it overflowing. No matter how full your life becomes, there is always time for a few beers with a friend. I promise to always have the fridge stocked and make this time for you all. To the class of 2018, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Sam. It's customary at this time to recognize the top academic graduate, the valedictorian. Typically, there's one person who performs at a high level in most or all courses in the curriculum. For the class of 2018, we have four valedictorians, 4 people who have 4.0 GPAs, 4 people who got A's in every single pharmacy subject. So I think it's worth a little time to have them be recognized individually. So I'm going to ask each one to stand up and take the applause and then sit down. The first is Kayla Harris. Gabrielle Lipman. Samuel McNally. And finally, Peter John Trapp. Wonderful, that's very impressive. We have many graduates who have fulfilled service or leadership roles at the College of Pharmacy, roles in organizations or for their classes. So I ask, if you've served as a class officer, can you please rise? Okay. Okay, please remain standing. Now, if you've served as a leader, any type of leader in a student organization while a student in the college, please rise. Isn't that impressive? Isn't that impressive, the number of our students who are active in the college outside of the curriculum? Thank you so much for your service and activities. This evening, students from the Doctor of Pharmacy program will be recognized and honored by hooding. These students will have their degrees conferred upon them tomorrow at the commencement ceremony. Hoods are the most distinctive part of the American academic dress, and they have a story to tell. They are lined with the official colors of the college or university conferring the degree. So, for example, orange and white. Actually, it's burnt orange and white. Texas Longhorn. UNE colors are blue and gray, so all of our graduates' hoods will be lined with blue and gray. Hoods are also trimmed in velvet. The color of the velvet typically reflects the bearer's academic field. So therefore, the College of Pharmacy or the Doctor of Pharmacy hoods are trimmed in olive. So there's a nice olive green, which is actually the College of, I keep saying College of Pharmacy, but the pharmacy color is olive green. The Doctor of Philosophy typically is trimmed in blue. So if you see blue trims, often the Doctor of Philosophy. So it's now a great honor for us to present to you this year's graduates for hooding. Dr. Kenneth McCall, will you kindly present the Doctor of Pharmacy graduates?
Put the cards face down in order that they come in. Like when you're done. For the photographer. Good evening. And now for the moment that you've been waiting for. The College of Pharmacy faculty and special guests will be hooding our Doctor of Pharmacy students this evening. Once hooded and offered congratulatory handshakes by Dean Houseknecht and Dr. Anderson, the student will proceed off stage. I am very pleased to present the class of 2018. Our first students will be hooded by Dr. George Allen, Chair and Associate Professor of the Department of Pharmacy Practice, and Dr. Olga Gavinch, Chair and Associate Professor of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. Sam Cushing, Scarborough, Maine. He earned a medical biology bachelor's degree from the University of New England, and he will be working at Hannaford Pharmacy on the Maine coast. He honors his pen to his family for their constant support and love. Dr. Kayla Harris of Hodgdon, Maine, graduating summa cum laude. She will be completing a PGY1 residency at Maine Medical Center. She commits her pen to Devin Logie. Thank you for always believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. Dr. Gabby Lipman from Newburyport, Massachusetts, graduating summa cum laude, received a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology from the University of Vermont. She will be completing a PGY1 residency at Hallmark Health in Melrose, Massachusetts. She dedicates her pen to Emily Lusenhop. Thank you for supporting me, for loving me, and for sticking with me through the craziness that is pharmacy school. Dr. Samuel McNally from Waterboro, Maine, graduating summa cum laude, with a master's in history from the University of Cape Town. He will be completing a PGY1 residency at Marshall University King's Daughters Medical Center in West Virginia. Dr. Peter Trapp from Piermont, New Hampshire, graduating summa cum laude. He will be working as a clinical pharmacist at Lakes Region General Hospital, and he dedicates his pen to his mom and his dad. Dr. Eugene A.J. from Maryland. He received his bachelor's in chemistry from Towson University. After graduation, he will be working. He dedicates his pen to his dad, Alexander A.J. The advice and guidance you gave me have brought me this far. Thank you. Dr. Catherine Aguiar-Diorio from Berwick, Maine, graduating magna cum laude. She graduated with a communication sciences degree from the University of Maine in Orono. She will be pursuing a career focused on community outreach and diabetes care. Immediately, though, she plans to go to Walt Disney World with my beautiful supportive family. With her beautiful supportive family. She dedicates her pen to Kyle Fitzgerald, her husband, Isaiah Fitzgerald, her son. Your support is selfless. Your pride and belief in everything I've pursued has made this accomplishment possible. Thank you for all the encouragement and love. Dr. Connor Alside of Lawndale, North Carolina. He earned a BS in Health and Exercise Science from Wake Forest University. Dr. Stephen Aliandri from Woodbury, Connecticut. He dedicates his pen to Patricia Aliandri, to the person that taught me everything that I need to know about going beyond and to deliver truly exceptional patient care. Our next Hooders are Dr. Wallace Marsh, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, and Dr. Leslie Oakes, Vice Chair and Associate Professor of Pharmacy Practice. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Ahmed Al-Jarrah from Baghdad, Iraq, via Springfield, Massachusetts. He completed his pre-pharmacy studies at Springfield Technical Community College. Dr. Jean Amazon from Philadelphia, PA. Jean earned his BS in chemistry from Temple University prior to his studies at the University of New England. Dr. Sujin An from Busan, South Korea. Sujin completed her pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. She dedicates her pen to her family. Thank you for the incredible opportunity, endless support, and sacrifice you have made to finish my degree in the United States. I love you, Mom and Dad. Dr. Nora Asamoah from New York. Nora earned a BS in chemistry from Stony Brook University. She dedicates her pen to Marion, her mother. Thank you for being my rock. Your understanding and encouragement got me this far. And for my Zizzy, thank you for the laughter. I love you. Dr. Manpuri Budwal of Boston, Massachusetts. She earned a BS in Pharmaceutical Sciences from MCPHS University prior to studying at UNE. She will be a full-time pharmacist at Osco Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to Sohan Singh and Kumalajit Kaur. Thank you for believing in me and giving me the opportunities and resources for me to be able to finish my career plans. Dr. Maurice Bailey from Rochester, New York. Maurice earned a bachelor's in biomedical science from Rochester Institute of Technology prior to studying at UNE. His plans are to move back to New York to begin work at Jones Memorial Hospital, buy a dog, a truck, and travel. I think in that order. Our next guest hooder is Matthew Kennedy, pharmacist at CVS, who will be hooding Dr. Emily Benner from Rockland, Maine. Emily will be a pharmacist for CVS Health in Maine. She dedicates her pen to her mother, Joella Mariner. Thank you for always helping me see the positive and pushing me to be a better, stronger person. I love you. Our next faculty who are hooding are Dr. Haley Choi, Assistant Clinical Professor, Pharmacy Practice, Dr. Cassia Mizuno, Associate Professor, Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. Christopher Bishop from Hollis, New Hampshire, earned a BA chemistry degree prior to studying at UNE. He dedicates his pen to his mom, dad, and Lauren. Thanks for your love and support for the last 4 years. Dr. Cody Black from St. George, Utah, graduating magna cum laude. He earned an Associate of Science degree from D.Sc State University prior to studying at UNE. He plans on a clinical position, potentially teaching in his career. He dedicates his pen to his wife, Gina Black. Thank you, Gina, for all of your support over these 4 tough years. I couldn't have done it without you. Dr. Jennifer Bofa. Wow, that is quite a cheer. From Spring Valley, New York. Nobody in Spring Valley is still in Spring Valley. They're all here today. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Neuroscience at SUNY Binghamton. She's going to pursue a career in ambulatory care pharmacist. She dedicates her pen to her mom and dad. Thank you both for all of your support. Your love and guidance is the reason I'm here today. Dr. Patrick Bride, graduating cum laude from Portland, Maine. Patrick will be working as a pharmacist at CVS Pharmacy. He dedicates his pen to his family. Thank you. Thank you all for your love, support, and guidance throughout the years. I could not have made it this far without all of your help. Dr. Samantha Briggs from Oakland, Maine, graduating magna cum laude. She will be completing a PGY1 residency and pursue a career in ambulatory care pharmacist. She dedicates her pen to her mom, Arlene. Mom, thank you for always providing me with endless love and encouragement as I reach for my dreams. I couldn't have done it without you. Dr. Dylan Brown from North Pharsalia, New York. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and master's degree in business administration from Canisius College in Buffalo, New York. Dylan will be working as a pharmacist at CVS Pharmacy at Target in the greater Baltimore, Maryland area. He dedicates his pen to his family. Families are the strongest support system, and my family is no exception. Please continue to support me by buying the first round. Cheers. Dr. Jennifer Brown of Madison, Maine. Jennifer completed her pre-pharmacy studies at the University of New England. Jennifer will be a pharmacist for Hannaford Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to her parents, Lloyd and Cheryl Brown. Thank you for always believing in me. I couldn't have done it without you. I feel so grateful to have parents like you in my life. Dr. Ashley Calder from New Boston, New Hampshire. Ashley completed her pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. She will be a pharmacist at Hannaford Pharmacy and also a per diem pharmacist at Southern New Hampshire Medical Center. She dedicates her pen to Kelly Gallagher, her mother. Thanks for being my biggest supporter and pushing me to be the most successful woman I am today. I love you. Dr. Janelle Culpe from Chicago, Illinois, graduating magna cum laude. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences from Southern Illinois University prior to studying at UNE. She dedicates her pen to Marilyn and Jesus. Dr. Davina Selani from Gloucester, Rhode Island. Davina will be a pharmacist at CVS Pharmacy in Maine. She dedicates her pen to Valerie, her mother, and David Solani, her father. Words cannot express how thankful I am for supporting me each and every day. You've taught me the key to success is to never give up. I wouldn't be here where I am without you. The next faculty hooders this evening are Dr. Dan McCool, Clinical Instructor, Pharmacy Practice, and Professor Kimberly Cripps, Instructor, Pharmacy Practice. Dr. Ashley Chase from Sandwich, Massachusetts, graduating summa cum laude. Ashley will be pursuing a PGY1 residency at the Providence VA Medical Center. She dedicates her pen to her parents, Mary and James Chase. Thank you for supporting me through the roller coaster of pharmacy school and believing in me even when I didn't believe in myself. Dr. Michael Chow from Dallas, Texas. Michael is going to Disney World and working with Walgreens Pharmacy in that order. He dedicates his pen to Linda Chow, his loving wife. Thank you for all of your support and help to get me here today. I am so lucky to have my best friend as my wife to be by my side. Dr. Alamgir Chowdhury from Jamaica, New York. Al earned a Bachelor's of Science in Biology at St. John's University prior to studying at UNE. It says here he'll be serving the community at the independent pharmacy, but I know better. He is going to be working at his dad's pharmacy, and his dad wants him there tomorrow. He dedicates his pen to his loving family. Dr. Mark Chen of Tustin, California, graduating summa cum laude. Mark earned a BS in Biological Sciences from the University of California. He will be pursuing a PGY1 residency at Providence Medical Center in Oregon. He dedicates his pen to his parents. Thank you for all the support through pharmacy school. I am lucky to be where I am right now because of you. Dr. Emily Brooke Clark of Cumberland, Maine. Emily will be working at Hannaford Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to Gail and Kevin Sampson, Mom and Dad. You both have always supported me in every way. I would never have made it without you. Love you to the moon and back. Dr. Amanda Klein of Richmond, Virginia. Amanda earned a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from Virginia Commonwealth University prior to studying at UNE. She dedicates her pen to her parents, Susan and Ellis Klein. I could not have achieved this dream without your unconditional love, support, and encouragement. Thank you for everything. I love y'all. Dr. Lindsay Coates from Whitman, Massachusetts. Lindsay earned a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from Salve Regina University. She is moving to Canada and pursuing a career in community pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to her fiancé, Luke Belding. Thank you for supporting my dreams and pushing me to be the best I can be, despite fighting your own battles. Dr. Brianna Compton from Philadelphia, PA. Brianna earned a BS in Health Sciences from the University of the Sciences in Philadelphia prior to studying at UNE. She will be a clinical pharmacist at Penn Presbyterian Medical Center. She dedicates her pen to her parents. Thank you for constant love and support. Our next team of faculty hooding our graduates today is Dr. Stephen Sutton, Associate Professor, Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Dr. Srinidhi Mohan, Associate Professor, Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. Jennifer Cormier from Glenburn, Maine, graduating summa cum laude. Jennifer will be pursuing a residency at Penobscot Community Healthcare in Bangor, Maine. She dedicates her pen to her parents, Paul and Denise Cormier. Thank you so much for all your love and support throughout pharmacy school. I couldn't have done it without you. Dr. Eric Zarnick of Valencia, California. Eric completed his pre-pharmacy studies at the University of New England. He dedicates his pen to Judy and Robert Zarnick, his parents. Thank you for making me mow lawns since I was 12. It definitely taught me how to work hard. We'll always love you both. Dr. Rebecca DeMoro of Lyndhurst, New Jersey. I take it this must be her fiancé, Matt. She dedicates her pen to her fiancé, Matt. Thank you for being my support system and for everything you do. I love you. Dr. Paige Desereau from Barrie, Vermont. Paige will be an inpatient pharmacist at Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center. She dedicates her pen to Mark and Nancy, her parents. Thank you for the continuous support and encouragement. This wouldn't be possible without you too. I love you. Dr. Daniel Dyer of Rhode Island. Daniel completed his pre-pharmacy studies at the University of New England. He is going to work as a long-term care pharmacist at White Cross Pharmacy. He dedicates his pen to mom and dad, and he says just 3 words: I did it. Dr. Amelia Farnham of Guilford, Connecticut. Amelia dedicates her pen to Michael Farnham and April Frost, her father and mother. Thank you both for always being there for me. You have been the best parents a daughter could ask for. I love you both. Dr. Christina Fields of South Portland, Maine, graduating summa cum laude. Christina earned a BS in biochemistry and medical biology from UNE prior to earning her Doctor of Pharmacy today. She will be a pharmacist at CVS in Maine. She dedicates her pen to Michael Whalen. Thank you so much for always pushing me and supporting me in my decision to become a pharmacist. I'm thankful for all that you have done and all you continue to do for me. Dr. Kelly Frazier of Canton, Connecticut. Kelly will be working at Walgreens Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to her mother, Ann Frazier. Throughout my life, you provided the perfect prescription of love, care, and support. No words can express my gratitude for the sacrifices you have made. Well said, Kelly. Dr. Ian Greenstein of Acton, Massachusetts, graduating cum laude. Ian earned a bachelor's degree from Wheaton College prior to studying at UNE. Ian dedicates his pen to everyone in the room. And he says to everyone in the room, "Thank you!" exclamation point. Our next faculty hooders will be Dr. Michaela Fiore, Assistant Clinical Professor of Pharmacy Practice, and Lynn Kopak, Assistant Director of Experiential Education. Dr. Giuliana Gerliaccio, I hope I got that right, from North Berwick, Maine. She earned a BS in medical biology from the University of New England prior to her PharmD. She will be working at CVS Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to John and Elaine Gerlaccio, Mom and Dad. Thank you for your endless support and encouragement. Dr. Kyle Hedquist of Tempe, Arizona. Kyle earned a bachelor's in kinesiology from the Arizona State University prior to studying at UNE. He will be a pharmacist at Chandler Regional Medical Center. He dedicates his pen to his family. Thank you for your encouragement, support, and especially jokes about how warm it was back home in Arizona while I was freezing in Maine. Dr. Haley Holt of Skowhegan, Maine, graduating cum laude. Haley will be working at Hannaford Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to Kim Holt. Thank you for your never-ending support and patience. I never could have done it without you. Dr. Casey Hutchinson from Raymond, Maine. Casey dedicates her pen to friends and family for being the greatest supporters throughout this journey. Dr. Etta Wynn from Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. Etta graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree from Lehigh University prior to studying at UNE. She dedicates her pen to Tan Nguyen, her father. Thank you for always standing by my side and believing in me. I could not have done it without you. You are my inspiration. Dr. Helen Nguyen of San Diego, California, graduating summa cum laude. Helen earned a BS in psychology from the University of California prior to studying at UNE. She plans to travel the world and work at an independent pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to Wah Win, my rock, my hero, my dad. I cannot thank you enough for all that you have given me. I love you. Dr. Jennifer Wynn from Drexel Hill, PA. Jennifer earned an Associate Science of Health Professions degree from Delaware County Community College prior to studying at UNE. Jennifer has accepted a position with CVS Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to her parents, Ki and Yum. Thank you for always being there and supporting me. I couldn't have done it without you. Dr. Marina Izzy from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, graduating summa cum laude. Marina will be doing a residency at the VA in Boise, Idaho. She dedicates her pen to Joe Izzy, her father. While I may be known as the rock for my friends, you were who I learned it from. You supported me silently and strongly, speaking up only when I couldn't do it myself. Even with the quick, just get it done, I have always felt your love and confidence in me to just do well. Thank you for everything. Our next faculty hooding this evening are Dr. Ed Lee, Professor, Pharmacy Practice, and Dr. Lauren Payne, Assistant Clinical Professor, Pharmacy Practice. Dr. Anjali Jain from Derby, Connecticut. Anjali earned a bachelor's degree in biology from the University of Connecticut prior to studying at UNE. She dedicates her pen to Anita Jain, her mother. Thank you for believing in me and supporting me. You are my inspiration. The Hex love you. Must be an inside. Okay. Dr. Charles Jones of Deary, New Hampshire. Charles earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Norwich University prior to studying at UNE. He dedicates his pen to Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Jones. Thank you for all of the support the last 4 years. Today would not be possible without both of you. Dr. Joo-hee Kang of Los Angeles, California. She earned a biochemistry degree from the University of California prior to studying at UNE. She will be working at a community pharmacy in Los Angeles. She dedicates her pen to Hei Ran and Sung Kang. Thank you for all your unconditional love and support. I could not have done this without you for 4 years. And then she says in Korean, I love you, which is Saranghae. I think I said that right, Saranghae? Okay. Dr. Matthew Kennelly from Hopedale, Massachusetts. Matthew earned a BS in biology from UMass Amherst prior to studying at UNE. He dedicates his pen to his family. Thank you for all the support and encouragement over this long journey. Dr. Dylan Lim of Cortland, New York. Dylan earned a BS in chemistry at Rochester Institute of Technology prior to studying at UNE. He dedicates his pen to Samantha, his fiancée. Thank you for supporting me the past 4 years, despite the long nights, missed celebrations, piles of dirty laundry, and unwashed dishes. I love you. Dr. Liam Lombard of Dover, New Hampshire. Liam will be working at Hannaford Pharmacy. He dedicates his pen to Kate Lombard, his mother, for ongoing personal support and for your positive impact on the pharmacy world. Dr. Amy Matson of Groton, Massachusetts. Amy completed her pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. She will be working at CVS Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to Anna Matson, her mother. Thank you for all your love, encouragement, and support throughout my life that has gotten me to this point. I wouldn't be here without you. Dr. Rachel McDevitt of Underhill, Vermont, graduating magna cum laude. Rachel completed her pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. She will be a clinical pharmacist at Mount Desert Island Hospital. That sounds like fun. She dedicates her pen to her parents, Tom and Suzanne McDevitt. Thank you for all of your support. Our next faculty hooding this evening are Dr. Guru Chadha, Assistant Clinical Professor of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Dr. John Redwansky, Associate Clinical Professor, Pharmacy Practice. Dr. Megan McAnally, Ventura, California. Megan graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Biology from California State University prior to studying at UNE. She dedicates her pen to Catherine Alspa, her mother. Thank you for pushing me to do my very best and always believing that I could do more. Dr. Michael McMahon from Rutland, Vermont, graduating cum laude. Michael will be working at Walgreens Pharmacy in southern central Maine. He dedicates his pen to Mom and Dad. Thank you for all you have done and sacrificed. I would not be where I am today without you. Dr. Roxana Mayari from Port Jefferson, New York. Roxana earned a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from James Madison University prior to studying at UNE. She will be working at Walgreens, and she dedicates her pen to Mom and Dad. You have given me everything I have ever needed and proven I can achieve anything. Love you guys. Dr. Joanna Meza from Live Oak, Florida. She completed her pre-pharmacy studies at Pensacola State College prior to UNE. She dedicates her pen to Stephen Mulcahy, her fiancé. Thank you for all your support and never letting me give up. I'm incredibly grateful to have you in my life. Dr. Sang Moon from Ann Arbor, Michigan, graduating cum laude. He graduated with his bachelor's degree from the University of Michigan prior to studying at UNE. He will be working at Walgreens, and he dedicates his pen to his parents. Thank you for everything that you have done for me. Dr. Ellie Morissette from Oakland, Maine. Ellie will be completing a PGY1 residency at Maine General Medical Center. She dedicates her pen to Terry Morissette. Thank you for your constant love and support. I couldn't have done it without you. Dr. Kathy In from Hong Kong, graduating cum laude. Kathy earned her Bachelor of Science from the University of California prior to studying at UNE. She's going to work in hospital pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to Pollyanna Chang, her mom. Thank you for your unconditional love and support. Everything I am today is because of you. I love you, Mom. Dr. Ji Win from Florida. He dedicates his pen to his family. Thank you to my loving family. And our next faculty hooding our graduates this evening are Dr. Deborah Sturp, Associate Clinical Professor, Pharmacy Practice, and Dr. Emily Dornblaser, Associate Professor, Pharmacy Practice. Dr. Sarah Wynn of Rancho Cordova, California, graduating magna cum laude. Sarah earned a BS in biochemistry at the University of California prior to studying at UNE. Her plans after graduation are to work at Walmart Pharmacy in Northern California. She dedicates her pen to Frederick Lee, Datron Tren Win. Thank you to Mom and Dad for your support and Freddie for being my rock every step of the way. I love you all. Dr. Beth Pay of Milton, New Hampshire, graduating cum laude. Beth earned a BS in medical biology degree from UNE. She will be completing a PGY1 residency at Tufts Medical Center. She dedicates her pen to Robin Pay, her mother, for always supporting every step along the way. Dr. Kaylee Paulus of Salisbury, Massachusetts. Kaylee will be a pharmacist for CVS. She dedicates her pen to Connie Paulus, her mom. Thank you for everything you do. I love you.
I want you to say this is his girlfriend.
Okay. Dr. Eric Payer from Alfred, Maine. Eric completed his pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. He will be a Hannaford pharmacist. Eric dedicates his pen to Taylor Wakefield, his girlfriend. Thank you for your continued support throughout this journey. Dr. Haley Perrin from Putnam, Connecticut. Haley completed her pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. She will be working for CVS Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to Sandy Perrin. Thank you and Dad for your unconditional love and support and 3 a.m. phone calls. Here's a pen. I guess that means we're even now. By the way, you both still have to call me Dr. Perrin. I love you. Dr. Deanna Auca Petrella. Wow, from Southington, Connecticut. I will be working as a full-time pharmacist for CVS Pharmacy, Deanna says. She dedicates her pen to Indri Petrea, her husband. Thank you and my entire family here today for helping me through this journey on this very special day. I am very grateful to have such a caring and loving husband. Thank you for being my rock and support when I needed you most. I love you. Dr. Charlene Pham from Westminster, California. She earned a bachelor's degree at the University of California prior to studying at UNE. She dedicates her pen to my crazy lady, Karen Wynn. Thank you for everything that you've done for me and for always being my number one person. Love you more than anything, Mom. Dr. Alexis Plattner from LaGrange, New York. Alexis earned a bachelor's in chemistry from the State University of New York prior to studying at UNE. She plans on being a retail pharmacist. She dedicates her pen to Carol Lorenzit. Mom, thank you for everything you have done for me. Your unconditional love and support throughout these years has meant so much to me. Our next faculty hooding our graduates this evening are Dr. Sarah Vincent, Assistant Clinical Professor, Pharmacy Practice, and Dr. Devin Sherwood, Assistant Professor, Pharmacy Practice. Dr. Taylor Porter of Camden, Maine. Taylor completed her pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. She dedicates her pen to her mother, Shari Porter. Thank you for all the love and support over the past 6 years. I couldn't have done it without you. Dr. Amanda Powers from Ticonderoga, New York, graduating cum laude. Amanda graduated with a bachelor's in molecular biology and biochemistry from Middlebury College prior to studying at UNE. She will be a pharmacist with Hannaford in Portland, Maine. Amanda dedicates her pen to her parents, Kim and Mike. Thanks for being there and supporting me. no matter how many times my dreams have changed. Dr. Brian Roski from South Berwick, Maine, graduating cum laude. Brian completed his pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. His goals after graduation are to pass the NAPLEX. He dedicates his pen to his mom and dad. Thanks for your continued support and encouragement over the last 6 years. It's meant the world to me. Dr. Tyler Rue from Fort Kent, Maine, graduating cum laude. Tyler earned a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of New England. Tyler will be a pharmacist with Hannaford Pharmacy. He dedicates his pen to Anthony Palladino. Husband, thank you for all your support, love, and encouragement over the past 4 years. Dr. Catherine Rogers from Annapolis, Maryland, graduating cum laude. Catherine earned a BS in biology from Washington College prior to studying at UNE. She will be completing a PGY1 residency at Anne Arundel Medical Center. She dedicates her pen to Michael and Rita Rogers, her parents. Thank you for your never-ending love, support, and guidance. I would not have made it through pharmacy school without you. Dr. Angela Ruggiero from Plymouth, Massachusetts, graduating cum laude. Angela earned a bachelor's in animal science and BA in psychology from the University of Massachusetts Amherst prior to studying at UNE. She dedicates her pen to wife Chrissy. Thank you for your patience, understanding, and support. Our next guest this evening, hooding our graduates, is Katie Taylor, pharmacist at Maine Medical Center. Dr. Shay Ryan of Rochester, New York. Shay graduated with his EMT training from Monroe Community College prior to studying at UNE. He will be completing a PGY1 residency and clinical instructor at the University of Illinois College of Pharmacy. He dedicates his pen to Kathy Sweetman, his mom. Mom, thank you for supporting me throughout the past 4 years. I could not have done it without you. Love, Mop. Our next faculty hooding this evening are Dr. Jessica Bates, Assistant Clinical Professor of Pharmacy Practice, and Dr. Ronald Hills, Associate Professor of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. Whitney Sargent from Millbridge, Maine, graduating summa cum laude. Whitney did her pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. She will be pursuing a PGY1 pharmacy residency with the Maine VA healthcare system at Togus. She dedicates her pen to her mom, Tina. Thank you for showing me what it truly means to be strong and how to hold my head up through whatever storm blows my way. Dr. Kelly Sawyer from Pembroke, Maine, graduating summa cum laude. Kelly will be completing a PGY1 residency at Bay State Medical Center in Springfield, Massachusetts. She dedicates her pen to her niece, Drea Rose, excuse me. I shouldn't have read that. You can do and achieve anything. I'm so proud of you and excited to meet the person you grow up to be. And our next guest hooder this evening is Dr. Sarah Kucher, Clinical Pharmacist Specialist at Hannaford Pharmacy. Dr. Samantha Shannon of Maine. Samantha will be a staff pharmacist at Mill Creek, Hannaford, and South Portland. She dedicates her pen to Christy Shannon, her mother. Thank you for the endless support, late-night vent sessions, and numerous bank account transfers. Love you. I mean it. Dr. Brittany Schofner of Louisville, Kentucky. Brittany earned an Associate of Science from Jefferson Community and Technical College prior to studying at UNE. She will be working at Walgreens Pharmacy. She dedicates her pen to her husband, Doug. Thank you for all that you have sacrificed to give me my dreams and for believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself. Dr. Devin Stuber of Madison, Maine. Sounds like Madison is well represented here. He completed his pre-pharmacy studies at the University of New England. He will be a retail pharmacy with Walgreens. He dedicates his pen to Dawn Stuber, his mother. To my best friend, thank you for allowing me to be comfortable enough in my own skin to continue attaining my life goals. I love you, Mom. Dr. Caitlin Sumner of Bethel, Maine, graduating summa cum laude. Caitlin will be working for Walgreens Pharmacy in Maine. She dedicates her pen to Scott and Lorraine Sumner, her parents. I feel so blessed to have you as my parents, and I could never thank you enough for your love and support over the years. Dr. Yannick Swiatek from Gorham, Maine. Yannick dedicates his pen to his family. Thanks for all the help. I couldn't have done it without you. Dr. Aaron Tang from Anaheim, California, graduating magna cum laude. Aaron graduated with a bachelor's in biochemistry and cell biology from UC San Diego prior to studying at UNE. He dedicates his pen to Selena, his mother. Thanks, Mom, for everything. Dr. Holly Tain from Cave Creek, Arizona, graduating cum laude. She earned a Bachelor's of Science in Human Studies and Family Development from the University of Arizona prior to studying at UNE. She'll be working at Safeway Pharmacy after graduating. She dedicates her pen to Ronan Tain. Thank you for being there for all the ups and downs that life has thrown our way. You are my rock, and can't thank you enough for all you do. I can't wait for our next chapter to begin. Our next faculty hooding our graduates are Dr. Ronald Hills, Associate Professor, Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Dr. Chunhao Tu, Associate Professor, Pharmacy Practice. Dr. Danielle Thiel from Brockport, New York. Danielle graduated with her bachelor's degree from SUNY at Syracuse University. She will be a pharmacist at Shaw's Osco in Maine. She dedicates her pen to Terry and Dan Thiel. Thank you for showing me how to work hard so we can play hard. I'll keep this world from dragging me down, gonna stand my ground. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Well, I won't back down. Dr. Carrie Tran from Waterville, Maine. Carrie dedicates her pen to friend Gina. Thank you for your never-ending support and faith in me. We have a guest Hooding our next graduate this evening, Sean Sukram, pharmacist at Publix Pharmacy in Tampa, Florida. Dr. James Tran from Tampa, Florida. James earned a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Science degree from the University of South Florida prior to studying at UNE. He will be working for Publix Pharmacy after graduating. He dedicates his pen to Brenda Trung and Ann Tran. Thank you for giving your best for me. I love you all. Dr. Drew Turner of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. Drew completed his pre-pharmacy studies at UNE. Drew dedicates his pen to his parents, Brett and Karen. Thank you for supporting me, Mom and Dad. Dr. Stephanie Villasis from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Stephanie earned a BS in biology from Florida International University prior to studying at UNE. She will be completing a PGY1 community residency with Baylor Health Systems in Dallas, Texas. She dedicates her pen to Kenneth Villasis. I want this to symbolize what you have accomplished thus far and what you can accomplish in the future pursuing a professional degree. Love you. Dr. Victoria Voltalina from Falmouth, Maine, graduating cum laude. Victoria earned a bachelor's degree of general science from the University of Southern Maine with a minor in business and biochemistry prior to studying at UNE. She will be working as a pharmacist at CVS Pharmacy. Victoria dedicates her pen to Nick Voltalina, her husband. I cannot thank you enough for your unconditional love and support. You always alleviated my worries and instantly knew how to make me laugh. Dr. Kaylee Wakefield of New Brunswick, Canada, graduating summa cum laude. She will be returning to New Brunswick and working at a community pharmacy, Jean Coutu Pharmacy. Jean Coutu Pharmacy. Thank you very much. And that must be her husband, Sam Wakefield, I guess, perhaps. She dedicates her pen to Sam. Thank you for your endless support and patience during my most emotional 4 years. Dr. Aaron Wong of Los Angeles, California, graduating summa cum laude. Aaron earned a biology degree at the University of California prior to studying at UNE. She will be doing a PGY1 residency at Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance, California. She dedicates her pen to David and Kathy Wong, her parents. Thank you for your unconditional love and endless support. I wouldn't be here today without you two. Love you. Wish Grandpa could be here today. And Dr. Fang Zhuang from Sacramento, California. Fang earned a Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry from California State University prior to studying at UNE. He will be working in community pharmacy. He dedicates his pen to his dad. Your journey ended when pharmacy school began. Words cannot express my gratitude for the guidance and encouragements leading to this day. Gone, but never forgotten. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, you, Dr. McCall, and all the people on stage. I now call upon Dr. Wallace Marsh, Associate Dean and Associate Professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice, to speak about and to administer the oath of a pharmacist to our graduates. Dr. Marsh?
All right, graduates, in your big blue UNE logo, you should have this piece of paper, so please pull it out right now. All right, the oath of a pharmacist is a commitment to remain a competent practitioner and to be a caring health professional. It is our privilege to witness your transition from pharmacy students to committed pharmacy professionals. Pharmacy is a noble profession. The role of the pharmacist has grown and evolved over time. Your guidance and advice as the medication expert will be regularly sought to improve symptoms, health and wellness outcomes, as well as when to seek medical attention. Stay current, be observant, mindful, creative, and enthusiastic as you define your professional commitment whenever you end up practicing. I invite you to truly live and be examples of this pledge in order to advance our profession, as well as to help our communities. At this time, I ask the Doctor of Pharmacy students, along with any other pharmacists in the audience, to please rise and join me in reciting the oath of the pharmacist. For the other pharmacists in the audience, in your program, there should be the oath of the pharmacist, so you should find a copy there. All right, we're going to say it together, and we will start right now. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to ensure optimal outcomes for my patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the lifelong obligation to improve my professional knowledge and competence. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate change that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the profession. On behalf of the profession of pharmacy, congratulations and best wishes. Good job, class of 18. Graduates, you may sit down.
Thank you all for sharing this great day in the lives of our graduates, the College of Pharmacy, the University of New England, and the profession of pharmacy. I would like to extend my congratulations and best wishes to our graduates. To you, I say, job well done. You done good. I'd like to take a few minutes to acknowledge those who have made this great event possible today. College of Pharmacy staff, we've got Peggy Mowat, Allison Spees, Pauline Dombrowik, Ian Wallen, Renee Dana, and Margaret Donovan. I'm going to ask our Dean's Ambassadors to stand. We've got Madeline Pryor, Kiana DiPiazzi, Katrina Gilman, Ahmed Farah, Amar Tola, Abby Farrar, and Selena Gigliotti, and Justin Richards. Thank you. I made Justin related to our former president. We thank the Cross Insurance Arena, the musical performances by the Portland Brass, our photographers, Life Touch Studios and Jeff Sure Photography, and a special thank you to Dennis Letelier for signage and setup assistance. As mentioned earlier, this ceremony was live streamed to all parts of the world and will be available for viewing at a later time. For that, we thank David Diego, who's out back. I'd also like to take this opportunity to give a big thank you to our current dean, Dean Karen Houseconnecht. She managed to hold 2 positions for this past year as a faculty member in the College of Osteopathic Medicine and as Dean of the College of Pharmacy. Beginning in June, she's going to become the UNE Associate Provost for Research and Scholarship. Thank you, Karen. It's been an honor to have had you as our dean this past year. Finally, a couple items in closing. We have a few large backgrounds throughout, especially right outside and right here, for pictures, if you want to take family photos. And I ask that the audience please remain seated until the platform party, the faculty and graduates have recessed. Thank you. This hooding ceremony is now adjourned. Safe travels, everyone.